pulls down over me.
Hey everybody, welcome to Skyline's weekly video blurb. We are on a 6-week or a 6-part series of characteristics common in successful people. Number 1 was they hang out with other successful people. 2, they have tenacity. 3, they have vision. 4, they have self-discipline. And number 5 last week was they're great communicators. And this week, it's all about preparation. And so I want to look at a passage in Luke 14, 3 or 4 verses there. Jesus is communicating a story, and this is about becoming a disciple, but being one who's a planner. Listen to this. Suppose you want to build a tower. You would first sit down, you'd figure out what it's going to cost. Then you would see if you have enough money to finish the project. The next verse says this, otherwise, if you lay the foundation, you can't finish the building. Everyone watching is going to make fun of you. And they'll say, this person started a building and then he couldn't finish the job, or she couldn't finish the job. Or suppose a king is going to go to war against another king. He would first sit down, think things through, and see if he could take 10,000 soldiers, his 10,000 soldiers, and go to fight, go to war against the other king who has 20,000 soldiers. He might just think about sending a delegate, an ambassador, before with terms of peace to the other king when he's still far away. Here's the point. We need to be people who are preparing, spending time preparing. I think about the quote all the time when I hear the word prepare of Abraham Lincoln. He said, if I'm going to chop wood, if I'm going to go out there with my axe and chop wood for 8 hours, I'm going to spend 7 hours sharpening my axe. That's, maybe he wasn't literally going to spend 6 hours sharpening his axe, but the point is this, you can't over-prepare. I suppose you could, but nowadays there's such a lack, an epidemic, I think, of people who don't prepare at all. They get out of school, they have this idea that everything's going to come to them free of charge, and they don't prepare. They might even have spent 4 years in college, but they weren't really preparing. They're going through college and they're thinking, yeah, okay, I'll get a great job when I get out and I'll just party when I'm here. Not everybody is like that, but understand this. Less people prepare today to be successful than in years past. I remember being in a band that was called Let's, and we played nightclubs all over Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. And before we even got into the clubs, we had this old chicken coop a friend of mine fixed up, made it into a garage, and we set up shop. We set up our equipment in there, called it the Let's Rehearsal Shop, and we practiced 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And then we booked some gigs, and we'd get to the gigs, and we would play anywhere between 3 and 6 nights a week, 3 to 4 hours a night. And then I would get up during the day and just practice scales with my guitar. And, for an hour, 2, 3 hours, and to the point where my fingers would get so callous they'd have little grooves in there, and I'd have to cut the calluses off just to get relief, prepared. That band went from playing holes, dives, just messy, cruddy, ugly little bars, to playing A clubs and getting paid decently before we disband in a matter of 2 years. Other bands were drinking and smoking and doing other things, and we were rehearsing for hours, and they were playing the dirty, rotten, raunchy nightclubs when we had broken into the A-class clubs. It was all about preparation. I put down for one of my main points here for preparation is this: overnight success. Did you ever hear that term? Overnight successes are birthed out of countless hours of preparation. I'm thinking of here I wrote down, and I was thinking about how long people rehearse before they're doing shoots for TV shows or movies and stuff. I found this quote from Wentworth Miller. If you've seen the show Prison Break, he's the young star with the tattoo map all over his body. He said this, we for 4 months of preparation and about 12 hours of shooting turned into only 30 seconds on screen. What about musicians? Overnight success, you know, overnight success musicians. Back when I was listening to rock and roll more, Eddie Van Halen, the Van Halen band, right? Oh, they were an overnight success. We got the first album. I was a DJ in high school, and I had the first album out with Dave on the front, bent backwards in his great pose and his wonderful flashy clothes. And bang, they went right to the tops. But little did we know that them guys are rehearsing. Eddie Van Halen would play his guitar for hours and his pianos for hours, and then all of a sudden, bang, here they are. Well, where'd this guy come from? He must have just picked that guitar up. You know, I don't think so. I don't think so. Practiced for hours. One of the best all-time rock guitarists, if not all-time guitarist there ever was, still to this day. So there are no such thing as overnight successes. I'm thinking of Skyline. You know, you look at the banner behind me here, the Skyline banner. We have a church started. I did a grand opening in January, but there was 3.5, I think 4 years, I haven't counted lately, of preparation work. Long before anyone at Skyline ever knew there was going to be a church, my wife and I were working on hooking up with an organization. We knew it would take 2 or 3 years of preparation, building relationships with people, laying the foundation, learning how that organization worked. And some people would think, well, this church just came out of the blue. And it didn't. It came out of preparation and hard work. And so then when we decided we were going to do the church, 10 months of preparation work with a core group of training and thinking about how Skyline was going to look and how it was going to function and some of the structures of Skyline. So it takes time to build those things. It takes preparation time. 11 months of preparation time. We did the grand opening, and it was wonderful. And there we are, and we're still growing today, and we're preparing 2-3 years in advance for what's coming in the years ahead as well. All right, I can see that this lesson is going to go on for at least 15 minutes, so I don't want to bore you for that long. Let's cut this off here. We'll pick this up next week, and we'll make this part 6 and part 7 of Skyline's weekly video blurb on preparation. So this was part 1 of that, or part A, however you keep your outlines. Next week we'll do part B of preparation. All right, until then, God bless you.
A flood of mercy pours down over me. Christ took my mess and nailed it